Hi everyone, if you're joining us, then fantastic. We're going to get started in about a minute or so, just waiting for some more people to enter the webinar. So get comfortable and we should be getting started in about a minute. Would also just like to put a quick reminder in there, guys. This is a webinar which is featuring a Q&A section, which is obviously super useful if you have any specific questions. So throughout the talk, please feel free to drop your questions in that Q&A tab, and then we'll do a section with the speakers where they can answer it. So make sure that if you do have something that springs to mind, just drop it in the Q&A tab. Okie dokie, I think that is everyone in, so let's get started. Firstly, hello everyone and welcome to Basingstoke College of Technology's virtual open event. In the session today, we're going to give you a fantastic insight into BCOT's specialist construction courses, their facilities and the Future Skills Centre as well, located in Bordon. I'm Matt and I'll be hosting this evening's session. We'll be talking for roughly sort of 30 to 45 minutes. And once again, as I said, please feel free to drop any questions that spring to mind into that Q&A section. We're going to be doing a whole section of our talk today, giving those questions to the speakers and letting them answer them. So it's a fantastic opportunity if you do have specific questions to get them answered by the pros. Let's, on that note, meet our speakers today. We're super lucky to be joined by them. We have, first of all, our lead or the head of construction, Steve Gilder. We're also joined by Eddie Burgin, who is our course director in plumbing and gas. We have Daryl Scopes, our course director for electric installation, and Andrew Spencer, our director of construction craft. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's great to have your expertise here.
Thank you.
Cheers. Fantastic. I think the guys are now going to run through a detailed PowerPoint slide for you, just to give you a better sort of understanding of what we have to offer at BCOT.
Thank you, Matthew, and thank you all for attending this evening. My name is Steve Gilder and I'm the head of construction. And on our first slide on the left-hand side, there are just some headline figures there to just reassure you that we are one of the leading colleges in the area for our construction courses and our progression for students into further education, higher education, and into employment. Thank you. So I'd like to start off by offering you a guarantee. So our guarantee is that we will prepare you for your future. So the courses we offer are tailored to help you develop the skills for your career. So our ultimate goal is to get you into an apprenticeship if you start on our construction crafts full-time courses, or to ensure that you are successfully in your apprenticeship should you start on apprentices in our specialist areas, which include construction crafts, built environment, gas and plumbing and electrical installation. So you will gain those qualifications for further education or for university or to continue your career in construction. We will offer you the opportunities to enhance your student experience. So not only will you be working towards your vocational qualifications in your chosen specialist subjects, you'll also gain valuable experience with our industrial placements. And if you're a full-time student, we will get you out onto site, we will get you out onto some trips. And if possible, we'll get guest speakers from industry to support you in your learning. So we'll talk a little bit more about the courses in a moment, but our guarantee is that if you would like to get into construction and gain qualifications for a fruitful career in construction, then look no further than Basingstoke College of Technology. Thank you. So our facilities and our technology. So we consider ourselves to have outstanding facilities in all those areas. And we have the state-of-the-art equipment and both will hopefully enhance your learning and give you that hands-on learning experience. So it'll give you that great start into your career. We do offer a different way of learning. So we have got our traditional way of learning. So we will have theory sessions and we will have practical sessions. But we do consider IT to be really important, and we do consider it to be important in any aspect of construction. So we have specialised flipped learning sessions where you'll use IGVS, which is vocational skills software. And our tutors also set you work for you to complete online within Google Slides. And BCOT is recognised as being one of the top colleges in the area, or in the country actually, for technology and how we use innovation within our teaching practices. So hopefully all our lessons will be engaging, whether in the theory environment or whether in the practical environment or the IT environment. Thank you. So this is the Future Skills Centre, and I am still responsible, along with Andrew, for the success of the Future Skills Centre, but it opened in April 2017. Well, it was completed in 2017, and it opened to students in September. It's gone from strength to strength. We've got a record number of full-time students at the FSC as of September. And for me, it just shows the ambition of the construction department within the area, because this centre is Hampshire County Council's centre, and they wanted someone to run it. And our senior leadership team straight away said, well, we can do that job, and it's proved.
Really sorry, guys. I think we have just lost our team from BCOT momentarily. We will be getting them back shortly, so don't panic. In the meantime, if you do have any questions that spring to mind, as I said before, whack them in the Q&A tab. We've already got a few coming in, which is fantastic. And yeah, we will be working. We are working now just to get the team back. I think they might have just dropped out with internet connection. So just hold tight, and we should be getting things back running very shortly.
We do want to really relate what we do in college, if you're a full-time student, to what's happening in industry. So those skills that you're learning in college are relatable to back on site. We do work with a range of local and national employers to make sure everyone gets this opportunity to carry out work experience or enrichment opportunities. Next, thank you, Sasha. So these are some of the companies we work with. So we work with the Osborne Group, we work with Taylor Wimpey at the Future Skills Centre. And just today, I was at Heartlands Village, which is Barclays, one of Barclays' key developments, and it'll provide construction work for the next 12 years. And we've managed to secure a presence on site. So our full-time students in 2021 will be going down to that site on a regular basis, where we're working with main contractors and subcontractors, really trying to bring what you're learning in the college to life. So this is just, I'll run through this rather quickly. This is just an outline of the courses we offer for full-time courses. So Foundation and Future Pathways, so they are our stepping stone courses into our main FE program. So if you haven't quite met the GCSE requirements for our full-time courses at level 2, or you're not quite ready for the FE environment, we do provide you with courses to allow you to progress into full-time courses. So you can see there what we're offering at the moment. We've got a construction multi-skills course where we've got over 140 full-time students on this course, and that's supposed to give our full-time students a broad base in some really fundamental construction skills: health and safety, hand tools, carpentry, plumbing, and potentially later on in the year some electrical installation and some brickwork. So those students will progress into apprenticeships, or they'll progress on to a specialist level 2 diploma in the following year. Those of you with more academic requirements or desires, we do run a level 3 construction and built environment course as well, to provide the opportunity for those people to go into professional and technical qualifications. We also do run, and my colleagues will talk a little bit more about the apprenticeships in their areas, because we do run apprenticeships in all the areas that we've spoken about. So carpentry, painting, brickwork, and then the specialist areas, which include gas and plumbing and electrical installation. And at this point, I'll hand you over to our construction course director, Andrew Spencer.
Thank you, Steve. So I'm Andrew Spencer. I've not been at the college that long. I've taught in a lot of London colleges, and I can actually say that I think here at BCOT it offers some of the best facilities and teaching that I've seen. I manage a very professional staff. They've been in industry a long time. I've actually been in industry 37 years myself, as well as teaching. My staff have very good experience and very dedicated team. We can move on to the next slide, please. So these are the images of our students that have had success. So following on from what Steve had said, we offer a full-time level 1 Future Pathways course. And this is for the student that hasn't achieved the required grade at school and needs to get their maths and English to come onto one of our courses. So it's similar to a multi-skills course where it offers the student lots of different opportunities to have a taster before coming back to us. Level 2 NOCN certificate in construction multi-skills. Now, I've worked in many colleges where we have never offered this before, and where it's only been a level 1 qualification in the subject they've chosen. Now, the problem with doing a level 1 subject is you're sort of stuck on that pathway. What's really good about a multi-skills course is that you get to try every aspect of construction. Some students say, I want to be a bricklayer when they first start. By the end of the course, they've changed their mind and becoming a carpenter, vice versa, carpenter, become a plumber, electrician. It's a really, really good course. As Steve was saying, there's a lot of students on this course, but they seem to be enjoying it. It's very busy, it's a fast-paced course, and it does offer development into an apprenticeship. Now, we offer work experience, which we actually find here at BCOT. It's really important that they're doing work experience in an avenue they want to do. So even though they're doing a multi-skills course, everyone is interviewed. We get to know every student, and we get to find out where they want to go and what their future sort of goal is. The level 3 construction and built environment, it's for the students that want to become architects, building surveyors, managers. It's an interesting course. It really sort of tests their knowledge and tests this sort of the students to push themselves to a higher level. So where the courses can take you, obviously Steve's mentioned some of this. The multi-skills course, you can become a carpenter, a painter and decorator, a bricklayer, electrician, plumber, gas engineer. So the professional certificate, i.e. the built environment course, you become a civil engineer, a project manager, architect and designer. Next slide, please. So one of our female students, obviously what I really want to develop is more and more females into construction. There is no reason why we can't have a 50-50 split. It's really important, especially these days, to encourage females into construction. The working environment is much nicer. It's just a nicer place to work for anyone in construction, of any sort of denomination or anything at all. So we need to be encouraging more girls into construction. She's doing a level 2 painting and decorating course, and I think she's just about to finish. Yeah, and she's done really well. So next slide, please. Brickwork, we have a extensive brickwork sort of provision here, not just here, but over in Borden. The students are really enjoying bricklaying. There's lots of companies that are snapping up bricklayers because as we've moved away from out of London, bricklaying is still very popular. It's not so much in London now, I found, but out the outskirts of London, it's really still a very popular course, and it's a good career for people to move into. Now, we do offer apprenticeships in brickwork and carpentry, and we also offer painting and decorating. Now, to gain an apprenticeship, obviously the multi-skills course will give you a really good start in this area, and the apprenticeship really is where you want to be pushing yourself to go to. You're paid, you're learning, you're working, and it's a good experience for everyone to do. where it just says there about the university, what's good about doing an apprenticeship is you are actually learning, learning while you're working. And I did one myself many years ago, and it put me in good stead. And it says there that doing an apprenticeship without the debt, which is very true, especially in these days and climate of today. We have a very, very good apprenticeship provision here, and we are lucky to be in a very good catchment area for a lot of new houses that are being built. I think Steve mentioned it earlier himself. Next slide, please. Very good workshops. They're very clean. They're a nice place to work, especially with COVID. We've got social distancing going on. There's plenty of resources. As I said earlier, the staff are highly trained. The students get to do a wide experience of different elements. For this one, it's carpentry. So we cover site carpentry, and we also cover bench joinery. And as you can see, there's no one in there at the moment, but the rooms are kept to a high standard. Next slide, please. This is what we call the maintenance dairy, where a lot of the property maintenance is done, the multi-skills is done, so they learn tiling, painting and decorating. We do some elements of plumbing. What else do we do?
With the tiling, with the floor tiling.
Wallpapering. So we do a variety in the maintenance dairy because it's a nice open space. As you can see, these wooden rigs we've built, they can be adapted and used for different purposes as the student progresses through the multi-skills course. Next slide, please. Painting and decorating, as you can see, we've arranged these rigs to look like a room or a house. So you've got an advantage of painting the room, wallpapering the room, architrave, windows, so they have a really good experience rather than working on small models that don't offer the learner that much scope of understanding. Having it full size, they get a better idea of actual use of materials and space, really, which is really important. And working at height, we get them to work at height. And obviously, as you can see again, we're very good at social distancing, which, as you can see, one student per room, that allows us to keep that going. Next one, please. Brickwork, that's probably the cleanest you're ever going to see it at the moment, but it's another good environment to work in. We have air filters for the quality of work environment. It's a nice place to work. It's warm, it's dry. Bricklayers are never going to work in the warm, never going to work in the dry. But while we're training them, it's a nice, safe learning environment. Next slide, please. And again, the built environment, of course, we will be going out. It's not just all classroom based. We need to go out. We need to survey areas. We need to go on trips. We do lots of trips, especially with the CBE. They need to look at building sites. They need to, unfortunately, we can't go to exhibitions now, but it would have been going to Future Build, which is a really good exhibition to go to and understanding the future of construction. But we will be going out building sites, surveying land, looking at old property, looking at new property. So we're not just a classroom-based course. Next slide, please. And I will pass you on to Eddie.
Hello, good evening everybody. My name's Eddie, as mentioned at the beginning. I'm the course director for Plumbing and Gas, and I'm going to talk to you about the courses we offer in Plumbing and Gas at Basingstoke College. You'll see the pictures at the top there, and they're pictures of students actually in the gas training workshop, which we've just recently built ourselves, and it's an absolutely world-class facility. All of our tools and equipment, we have the latest tools and equipment, all really good stuff. Now, those photographs, I might add, were taken pre-COVID, because obviously we've had to take some precautions now, so students wear masks, etc. in the workshops. Next slide, please. We are part of the building services, which includes electrical, heat and vent, refrigeration, and plumbing and gas. And I'm going to talk specifically about plumbing and gas. Next slide, please. Okay, so I thought I'd show you this slide here. This is a young man called Jack. Jack was with us for 4 years. Jack did 2 years of plumbing at level 2, and then he did 2 years of plumbing and gas at level 3. He was the first person in the country to complete the new gas engineering qualification at level 3. And I'm very pleased to say he was the first person in the country to actually get a distinguished pass. That was last year, before COVID, and Jack is now running his own company, and he's doing extremely well, and we're very, very proud of him. Next slide, please. Okay, so things have changed since Jack left the course. Unfortunately, level 2 plumbing has disappeared, which gives us a bit of a problem because the level 3 gas engineering qualification is an A-level type qualification, and a lot of people that come to the college don't have A-levels. So what we've done is we've searched around for a replacement qualification for level 2. And what we've come up with is the Property Maintenance Operations course, which is a 1-year apprenticeship. It includes loads of topics. For example, there's a little bit of carpentry, a little bit of brickwork, a little bit of painting and decorating, which are all good skills for a plumber and gas engineer. We call those making good skills. And anybody who's actually there that knows a bit about plumbing know how essential it is to be able to do a bit of tiling, a bit of this and a bit of that. But what we've actually done is we've looked at the course and we put a plumbing bias on it. So we will give them all the basic skills they need to be able to bend and join copper pipe, steel pipe, plastic pipe, etc. And they are all apprentices, so they're learning on site at the same time as well. Now, that also gives young people the opportunity, if their maths and English is not quite where it should be, to actually get it up to speed over the course of that 1-year course. And then, providing they're successful, they can then move on to the level 3 gas engineering standard, which has got a plumbing pathway in again. And that's a 2-year course, at the end of which you will be fully qualified, you'll be gas safe registered, you'll have a water regulations ticket, an invented hot water ticket, and basically you can do anything in plumbing and gas that requires a license, and we will deliver here that at Basingstoke College. Next slide, please. Now, this slide, which I don't know if you can read it, my eyesight's going a little bit, but basically this is the 1-year maintenance operations course. And you can see all the green modules are basically stuff we do in college. The 2 orange ones are elective modules, which currently we're not delivering. So there's a bit of electrics, like I said, a bit of heat and vent, a bit of refrigeration, a bit of environmental. It's a really good rounded course. And one of the big pluses about it is, at the end of it, you get a proper qualification plus a CSCS card, which will get you onto a building site. And also, if during the course of that year, you maybe decide that perhaps plumbing and gas isn't for you, it could then lead on to an apprenticeship in any one of those areas. So it's a really good grounding for young people, and particularly 16-year-olds, to actually get their education up to speed in the terms of their level 2 or GCSE English and maths. And then if they want to go on to do the gas and plumbing course at level 3, they can do. But should they decide to do something else, they can as well. Or they can even then go into industry and work for a few years and then maybe decide to come back to college later on. Now, this is all quite complex, and I recognise that just saying a few words now may not get it all across to you. So what I would like you to do, if you want more information, either ask questions now or please get in contact with the college. They'll put you through to me and I'll be able to answer any questions you've got about any queries that regarding the qualifications that we do have. Next slide, please. Now, this map represents the gas qualification at level 3. All the yellow bits are actually gas qualifications, and all the blue bits are actually plumbing qualifications. Although this is a gas engineering qualification, it's split into 2, and it contains both plumbing at level 3 and gas engineering at level 3. So it makes you a really good rounded individual. And the purple bit at the top is called a gas work logbook, and that's where you gather all the evidence in the workplace to prove that you're working alongside a gas engineer and you know all the stuff that you're doing. Next slide, please. Okay, so that concludes my little part, short but sweet. I'll now hand you over to Daryl, who'll talk to you about electrical.
Thank you, Eddie. Yes, welcome along, everyone. As you can see, always nice to start with a few of the lads working on site, and girls you'll see in a minute. As was mentioned earlier, the trade is open to both sexes, and we could do with a lot more women in the industry because they're damn good at the job. But if you move on to the next slide. My area of expertise is electrical installation. We have a small team, but a busy team, and we've got some excellent facilities. We just move on to the next slide. So what is becoming an electrician all about? Well, to be honest, it's so varied that you would need to have a chat to us at a longer period of time. But fundamentally, you are installing electrical systems. That's all the cabling, the wiring, the lighting, the power, machines, equipment. You could be working in houses like you're sitting in at the moment and wiring up all the electrical systems in there, or you could be in offices, buildings like factories and so on. It's a very reputable job and worthwhile career option. Move to the next slide. So one thing you need to bear in mind is that you can go into different areas. There is building installation, or there is maintenance, which is working in places like shopping centres and maintaining the electrical systems in there, or large factories and doing the same there. But you must bear in mind that you could be working indoors and out in our trade. It isn't all indoors. And you could be working at height or in confined spaces. So if you have a massive fear at height, that could be a problem. Move on. Electricians really are, I mean, it's a level 3 course, and I'll talk about the course a bit more in a moment, but it is a level 3 qualification. So there isn't a level 2. You go through the trade skills that we've just been discussing with Eddie's level 2, or the full-time programs that come up through the pathways. But there is a lot of problem solving in our course. You've got to have some reasonably good hand skills, although we'll train you how to do things. But you've got to be able to have good communications. The maths is serious. It goes up to A-level standard in our level 3. As was mentioned earlier, level 3 qualifications are A-level standard. And as I said, you can't be afraid of heights or small spaces. Move on to the next slide. But at the end of the day, the only route to becoming qualified as an electrician from 16 onwards is through an apprenticeship. Obviously, if you are already practicing in the industry and have been for a number of years, there is the route for skilled persons, but that is a much more technical route with a lot more proof of evidence. But could be working in any industry in the electrical area to do with energy efficiency, geothermal and biomass, although we work very closely with the plumbing teams on those. But at the end of the day, it's any electrical systems in any buildings we work in, and you must be qualified to work across all the range of installations, both domestic, which is in your house, commercial, which is offices, flats, colleges, that sort of thing, and industrial, which will be your large factories or heavy industry. Okay. So this is the crunch. Yes, electrician's an exciting job. We're very proud to be tradesmen. It's not a bad word anymore. We're damn good at our jobs. We continue to update. It doesn't matter if you're a bricklayer, carpenter, plumber, or electrician. We're all skilled, and we're proud of the skills that we own. The thing with the electrical qualification as an apprenticeship, though, is one, you've got to have a job. You can only enter into the electrical qualifications in our area if you have got an employer. You can still apply through the apprenticeship programs, and Aspire is the main one the college operates here. But if you do that, we will keep an ear to the ground to help you. But obviously the key thing is for you to find an employer. But that isn't the only thing. You've also got to have the necessary qualifications. And we are talking about at least 3 GCSE grades 4 or above, preferably more. And those will be in maths, English and science. It's a 4-year program. So you are committing yourself to us for 4 years. It is not a short haul. It's not a quick fix. So it's really got to be something you want to do. So on that premise, I would say to you, go out and try it. Work with people that are working in the industry. Talk to people about it. Get a good, firm idea that this is what you want to do. Because we're going to invest a lot of time and effort in you over the next 4 years. 3 of those years are actually college study, day release. But there will be, in addition to that, homeworks and online learning activities. So although you might do 6 hours at college in a classroom, we're looking to do at least another 3 hours outside a week working for this qualification. Okay, next slide. So it's a tough set of qualifications, and I know you're thinking, yes, go out of school, no more exams. Sorry, There's loads more. In our qualification, we have a load of work that you have to do in your own time, building a portfolio, what we call a site diary, which you collect evidence over 3 years of your work that you're doing in the industry. You can only get completed in that if you are working in our industry. That's the only way. In addition to that, you've got to do all of the technical studies. In the first year, there's 3 exams, 2 of them online. There's 6 practical tests and 1 10-hour practical exam, which some of my students are just doing at the moment. In the second year, you've got written papers in science and technical studies. And the science ones, a 2-hour written science paper, no formula books, no support there at all. You've just got to sit there and take the exam. We prepare you, obviously, but they are tough qualifications to get through. There is an assignment that lasts over 4 weeks of work, which is all about designing electrical systems. So as you can see, 6 hours at college and 3 of your own is going to be not enough even sometimes. Okay, next slide. We've got some nice classroom facilities. As with all the college facilities, basically, we've got some excellent facilities. And moving on to the next slide. In addition to that, we've got a comprehensive online learning system, which is there to support you in your studies and give you additional guidance. It also tracks all your homeworks, sets all your assignments, and keeps an eye on your general progress on the course. And your employers and your managing agents will also be involved in that. Okay. In the workshop, as you can see, we have dedicated bay areas. Yes, again, COVID-19 not being followed here, but it was before the COVID came into effect. But you can see on the left-hand side, that's the installation that's completed by the students over their period of time in the first year. And then they do an assessment similar to that in 10 hours. The workshops are well equipped. We get supplied with excellent tools and facilities. As you can see in the top right-hand corner, we've got specialist bay areas for the year 3 of the course, where you do a full inspection and testing on electrical systems. And those exams are tough. They have to get 100% correct, a bit like the gas qualifications. They are either right or they're wrong. And we are committing you to making safe installations. Next slide. So, yes, 1 day a week, the rest of the time you're on site, working hard for your employer, and they do want their pound of flesh. There's no 2 ways about it. It's not brilliant pay in the early stages as an apprentice, but you are investing, they are investing in you for a career for the future. And it's good pay for electricians in the future, but as you can see, there's loads of technical stuff involved in our qualification. Okay. And basically, it's a great place to be. We've got good facilities, good support. We've got good training arrangements. And at the end of the day, if you are keen to become an electrician, then you have every opportunity to achieve that goal with us. Okay? So, as I said, there is just one qualification. It's the electrical installation qualification. It is only an apprenticeship. If you are not up to the grade in the early stages, that isn't a problem. The college has plenty of qualifications in the construction area which can lead towards you entering into the electrical qualification. And as you say, we've got work placements at full time. We can help you with guiding you towards industry that might actually employ you, and then you'll be able to move on to the apprenticeship. Okay. So I'll hand you back to Steve, and thank you very much for listening. Again, any questions, as Eddie said, get in touch with us. We're here to help. Thank you. Steve?
Thank you, Daryl, and thank you to Andrew, and thank you to Eddie. As I just want to pick up on a point that Andrew made, that we, sitting around this table, we are all time-served apprentices in our specific areas of expertise. Those around this table all have qualifications in higher education, and we have a wealth, because we're all crusty old dinosaurs, we have a wealth of construction expertise and experience, as well as a wealth of further education experience, as do we in our staff room as well. So if you do eventually enrol at BCOT, I think you'll be in very safe hands. I think Daryl has touched upon that more so than maybe Andrew and Eddie about the courses are difficult, and we're not going to make an excuse for that. It is hard work, and we do expect a level of commitment from our students, but we have all been in construction for far too long to even think about, but many years. It is a rewarding career because we've all come from industry and now we're in further education. It is a really rewarding career, and in the present climate, it's not unheard of. In fact, it's quite commonplace that really capable tradespeople are earning upwards of £50,000 a year. So that's not a ridiculous figure anymore. I've got apprentices, second-year apprentices, that are driving around in 2-year-old BMWs, because that is the requirement of construction graduates at the moment. It's a really great industry to get into. So if you do come, we're really proud of the support we can offer individuals as well. So we have got specialist RAP tutors that will look at your retention and progression. We do have an on-site college nurse, and she's been very busy during the recent period. We do offer additional learning support. So we do evaluate the individuals when they come into the college, and we pick up from where the school's left off if you need any additional learning support within the classes, additional time or a reader, etc. We do offer the access to counselling. So we have got an on-site counsellor as well, because we know sometimes that, well, again, going back to our ages, being a teenager seems a long way off, but we do understand that sometimes those years can be challenging. So we do have our on-site counselling. We are an equality and diversity employer, so that goes through all our staff and it goes to all our students. And we really pride ourselves on our safeguarding. So how we look after our students and how we support our students is key to what we do in the college. And we have mentioned about the careers and employability that's part of your study programme as well. So that concludes what we would like to say to you guys. And I can see from the right-hand side that there are a number of questions. So I'm going to try and pick up on some of those questions, starting with Sharon. So it says, what level plumbing course do I apply for if I come from year 11? Well, as Andrew said, there are some elements in our multi-skills course, and that's a full-time course. But as Eddie has said, if you want to be recognised in industry as a plumber, then we are offering a PMO, a property maintenance operations qualification, which you will need an employer for. Is that right, Eddie?
Yeah, that's correct.
So we've got one from Danny Beasley. Have I missed one, Eddie?
Oh no, I'm just wondering if these are all the questions. So I thought Matt was going to tell us which question was going to read the questions through, so we're just answering those there.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? Sorry, Matt, I've stepped on your toes there. I do apologise.
No problem at all. Yeah, so these are the questions that people have been sending in to us. So absolutely, Danny was asking about help in finding employment before applying for apprenticeships. So if you guys could give him some direction, that'd be fantastic.
You can still apply for an apprenticeship if you don't have an employer. Aspire is our business unit, and they will do everything they can to try and help you get an apprenticeship. During the course of the year, we quite often get employers coming to us and asking, do you have anybody who's suitable for an apprenticeship? So we'll set up interviews for you if we get an employer making an inquiry. So get yourself on the system, and once you're in the system, then our business unit will try to get you an apprenticeship. We don't guarantee it, but we're pretty good at it.
I think that's the other point you've got to bear in mind, obviously, is that the employer is going to make that decision. So it is still a professional interview that you are getting a job you're going to be paid for. So you've got to go along prepared, and you've got to convince that employer that you're the best thing since sliced bread and the best person for that job. And then you'll come into this college to get trained up in the future. Okay?
There's also advice on the internet through the government websites and through our trade industry board, CITB. So if you just type in apprenticeships in construction, there'll be a wealth of information on there how you can potentially find an apprenticeship before you come to the college. But as Eddie said, if you apply and you state that you want to do an apprenticeship, we can certainly help
Exactly.
Yeah, and we do help with interview techniques as well. We
We do.
know we give you pointers, what you should say, and what it's going to be like in an interview.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. Lots of support from the college itself and also elsewhere to help you get hopefully that friendship, which is fantastic. We have another question here, and it's something that I think came up a couple of times during the talk as well, guys, about having more girls on the course. Somebody asking here, how common is it to have girls on these courses, and what's the sort of boy to girl ratio? What sort of boy to girl ratio can they expect once they've applied?
If we, sorry, Teddy, so if we take construction as a whole, it's about between 10 and 12% of the nearly 3 million people that work in construction that are female. Obviously, there are more on the technical and professional side than there are on the vocational side. So we have got a splattering in all our areas, but it's something that the four dinosaurs sitting around this table are constantly frustrated in. We want that diversity in our department. We are constantly fighting the negative stereotypes that construction is portrayed as in the popular press, in the media. Unfortunately, because of those factors and because for whatever reason females aren't getting the message that construction is an inclusive industry, that the numbers are quite low. But the more people, like the person that's asked the question, take that step into construction, and I'm sure that will start to grow and they'll get more people into it. But it's a fantastic career that's open and inclusive for for females and for males as well.
Well, my daughter is a carpenter, so I'm an absolute advocate for females in construction.
I'll say the figure Steve mentioned is correct. In plumbing and gas, it's around 10% on the courses. So we don't have very large course group sizes in plumbing and gas. Maximum is probably around about 12. So you may well be the only girl in the class. However, you would get an awful lot of support. And actually getting an apprenticeship as a female plumber or gas engineer can be easier because there is a demand for them and there is a shortage out there. So if you're thinking about that career, it could be a really good move.
And I would second that what Eddie's just said for electrical. Although, as I said, the numbers are small and sometimes you could be the only female in the class. But there is a good demand out there in the industry for the specialist area and being a woman in the
And
industry.
statistically, it's frustrating because what Darryl said about being problem solvers and being strong at science and strong at maths, statistically at GCSE level, females are that. They're better than boys. So it's even more frustrating for us that we don't get more females into the industry because they're good at it. The ones we get, they're good.
Yes, I wouldn't disagree with that.
And if you're thinking you're the only one, once we've got one, someone else is going to apply.
Yeah,
so the more we get on the ball rolling, the more we're going to get.
We can put you in touch with the ones that have as well in the future. They can come in and see you.
Yeah. If you want to come and chat to one of the girls that's on the course at the minute, we can arrange that.
And you can become an advocate.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, you heard it there, guys. The overwhelming message is if you are a girl and you're thinking of getting involved with construction, then absolutely please do. There's a wealth of opportunity and it would be a fantastic option for you. So fantastic. We have a question here and I think we saw a picture of it, the fantastic Borden Future Skills Centre. Somebody asking, how do I apply to do a course in that centre?
So applications are now open. I think Sasha's just told that in. They opened today. And as you go through the application process, it'll give you an option of where to apply. So it's as simple as that. If you want to apply to Basingstoke College, you click that button. If you want to apply to the Future Skills Centre, you click that button, and then your application will filter into that area. Simple as that.
Fantastic. We have a question here about carpentry and joinery as well. So carpentry and joinery, what levels are there? And how difficult is it to get onto the course itself? Is it quite difficult in terms of, the prior knowledge and stuff that you need to have before going onto the course?
Right. So we have level 2 and level 3. So there is progression in carpentry. But what I strongly recommend is you do the multi-skills course. So that allows you to come straight into us, join us. You will learn hand tools. Now, I ran a successful house building business for 18 years. I can do bricklaying, plastering, bit of plumbing. I've done what's on the multi-skills course. Now, I learned this later in life. If you can learn it early, it's really, really going to give you good sounding. So join the multi-skills course. You might have decided I want to do carpentry, but hopefully you will, because that's my passion, carpentry. And then we will help you then find an apprenticeship. We will help you guide your way into your next level. And that's what I strongly recommend.
Fantastic. And then we'll finish with the last question here. Somebody wants to know, do you offer welding as an individual subject, or what would be the best course to get?
Okay, I can answer that. Well, welding used to be part of plumbing and gas engineering. It no longer is because technology's moved on. However, the college does do welding, but it's in specialist areas. So, for example, engineering, there's a requirement to do welding in engineering. Also, automotive, car repairs, etc. They do it there. So, we don't offer a single welding course per se, but it does form part of other courses, in particular automotive and engineering.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, I think that's all we've got time for today, guys. So thank you so much, viewers, for your fantastic questions. And thank you so much, our panel of speakers, for some really sound advice there. We hope you enjoyed this session and it's helped inspire you to want to study with us at Basingstoke College of Technology. If you are ready to apply, then awesome. You can do so really easily, simply by visiting bcot.ac.uk/apply. We also have a lot more subject talks happening this evening. So if you would like to have a look at those and maybe have another specific course area in mind to hear some more about, then again, you can register to do so by visiting bcot.ac.uk/VOE for virtual online event. If you asked a question and we unfortunately ran out of time to answer it, firstly, apologies for that, but we can get you an answer for that question. Simply feel free to check out the website and look at the Q&A chat room. We can get some staff on board there to answer any queries that you have as well. So that last thing for me to say is thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to our panel of speakers for some great advice. We hope you enjoyed the talk and we hope you enjoyed the rest of the talks going on this evening.